Let's call the meeting to order. First thing we have an approval of the minutes.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. We're gonna skip number 2 and go right to number 3 and 3 and 4. Matter of fact, Kevin Begers? Yeah, come on, front. How you pronounce that again? Bagurtis, okay. Well, there's 2 of them. We're gonna be taking both up here. So, you obviously know why you're here,
Okay,
and
I did.
truthfully, we don't see a lot, which is good. But we had 2 cases, somebody falling outside.
Actually, just one.
Well,
He fell. It was icy rain
No.
that night.
I'm sorry, yeah, I said we have 2 cases, but one is when the guy fell outside.
One was highly intoxicated inside.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was yeah, and the thing that,
he's up. Go ahead.
the thing that stood out to me on that is in the police report, where he said he had 2 or 3 mini pitchers, which is equivalent
2.5.
to
Well, actually,
9 8 to 10 ounce beers and 2 shots of
in
Rumplemans,
3 hours. Yeah,
3 hours.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know, if I had drank that in 3 hours, I'm not gonna be in too good a shape.
And
I don't-
cheeseburger
That seems like a lot to me.
well, we dumped the other half a pitcher out. But I know the police and the paramedics have better things to do than babysit. But he was uncooperative. His daughter dropped him off, 11:15. This happened like after 3 or something like that. He was, when we cut him, he says, okay, he was uncooperative. Asked him for his daughter's phone number. He gave us 5 out of the 7 numbers. Everybody tried to look it up. He wanted to walk out and leave. We wouldn't want to let him leave. And the more the customers tried to help him, tried to encourage him to get his phone number, the daughter's phone number, the more he was getting. And then all of a sudden he started choking, coughing, choking, gave him water, sat him in a chair. He was like, and they were telling the customers, don't aggravate him, because I think they were more aggravating than, but they thought they were trying to help.
Right.
And I tried to see him. He's a customer like twice a month, average twice a month for 3 years now. And that's the first time we had any problem with him. He called his daughter up, come pick him up, and that was it. This time he stayed longer than normal. We cut him off, like I said.
Well,
Tried to go.
see, we get all these reports and we read them all out,
Yeah.
and we constantly are reading
Yeah.
highly intoxicated,
it's hard.
You know, and in this
It's
case,
hard.
then I'm reading what,
Yeah.
and I don't know
Oh,
if
it
anybody
was-
else could drink that much and just,
Why
are you looking at me?
would you be?
It was a minute and a half.
Would be-
It wasn't 2.5. It was a minute and a half. A minute and a half.
All right, well,
32.
as you said,
32
equivalent to 9 8 to 10 ounce beers, but still.
Yeah, in like 3.5 hours. Yeah.
Mr. Chair?
Hold on one second.
I guess it wasn't reflected in our report, at least that you guys actually cut him off when it turned into a problem. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
I didn't
that.
see it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it from your
Yeah,
report. So and that is what we're asking.
Yeah.
We want you to cut people off.
Yeah.
Now, when you say he was uncooperative or he was just unable to give.
No, he could have.
He chose.
Yeah, he was
still
deliberately
making a
not
choice.
telling us
Okay.
the daughter's phone number.
Okay. And do you know what the net result was? I mean, it was mentioned about social health thing. Do you know? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Was it really a health issue?
He called the bar later on that night because he left his coat here and his keys. And he called the bartender that night if he was at Freighter. They took him to Freighter, must have.
So I guess we'd assume there really was some sort of health issue.
Yeah. And then he wanted to, and he was just locking up he was locking the bar up. And he says, no, he came the next morning to get it, and he wanted to see me and apologize, and, and
Okay.
when his daughter picked him, brought him back to the bar to get his jacket and apologized for what he did.
And I guess from our point of view, the chair of the committee doesn't know how to pronounce your last name. You guys have been there a long, long time.
Yeah.
And we've
Yeah,
never
we've-
seen you in here, and we have two reports
It
here.
was a
Yeah,
long
two-
time ago I was
Yeah,
here, but
yeah, but we have two reports here in the same week
My dad was-
for very similar circumstances. What appears to be overserved customers.
the first one I couldn't.
Well, the police report, again, there was specifically mentioned, I think, that there was no ice on the street when the
It was
patron.
freezing rain. I know that. I know we salted the sidewalk.
Yes. No.
But he got his wife in the one side, went around, all of a sudden, boom, down he went.
No. So again, I think that's what's disconcerting to us.
And that hit me,
Plus the fact that
He was
your
lucky.
staff actively took the steps to stop serving him. You said you tried to give him some water and calm him down. I mean, that is what we asked.
Yeah. And
So,
said police and paramedics need to have better things to do than take care of
so just,
our problems,
yeah. Okay, do I have a motion on this?
Move to place 3 and 4, which
Right.
are both right on file.
Correct.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
So that's just going on file for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, no, thank you.
Just keep up.
Okay, yeah.
Wanda?
Hello.
Right. And do you know why you're here?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, you realize when if people don't have a license, they can't be serving alcohol, selling alcohol.
No, I totally know. And she wasn't serving. She wasn't even behind the counter, Rupinder. And at that time, we had a vendor, a salesperson who came in to take the orders. And that's what she was doing. She wasn't even behind the counter. She was in the store, like giving order for like what we needed. And at that time, the person with the license had gone to the bank, BMO Harris. It's walking distance, 5 minutes. And at that time, when the police officer came, he returned within a minute, and he was like, "I'm here." Like there was no customer in the store at that time, and she wasn't even behind the counter. And we're aware that she does not have a liquor license. She does not sell it. It's just I left her there to make sure the orders go, and he just went to make like a deposit or something like at the bank. It was 5 minutes. It's just wrong timing and just.
Well, but still,
Mr. Chair,
Hold on, wait a minute.
who was working the day before?
Shergill, the one who always works there.
Because the police were there on my request. Because an employee of another business on Greenfield Avenue reported to me on that, I believe it was Monday, the day before, that they stopped into your liquor store
Yeah.
and that Ruby was there working alone. Okay, that is why the police went the next day and found the exact same circumstance of Ruby being there with no licensed person on the premises.
No, I understand, but she doesn't sell to. We will refuse the customer if they come for liquor, but if it's like chips or Coke, she can. She does. She doesn't. I make sure of it that she's not there, and she's never behind the counter if that's the situation. Like That's why. Like
Okay.
I have someone who's there all the time with a license.
Well, that person wasn't there the day before.
I
Again,
understand,
That's
yeah.
what prompted
Yeah, I
me
know, yeah.
to let the police know that I had a report
Yeah.
that I deemed to be reliable, and
Yeah.
they went the very next day
Yeah.
and followed up and found the exact situation that was described to me.
Yeah, but the situation is not the same if she's not behind the counter and selling. If
So
she
you're-
is
so
giving
you're-
an
so
order
you're gonna
to
say
like.
that sometimes.
No, it's not. That's, I'm not arguing
Hang
with
on,
it.
hang
I'm
on.
just saying
You're
that.
going to say that
Wait.
sometimes the store is open and there is no one there with a license, and,
No.
and on those occasions you won't sell beer or wine.
No. We always have someone there. I understand that there were moments that that person
You
wasn't
don't
there, and
always
if
have
he,
someone there.
I make sure that I have someone
Well,
there.
that Monday, the day before,
Yeah.
you didn't, and when the police came.
Yeah, it was. He came. He went to the bank and he came back. It's
But
just.
still, there was no
I
someone there.
understand. No,
so-
I totally understand, and I've apologized, and I've made sure I've spoken to Ruby as well that she just cannot be there when someone without a license is not there. If any errands need to be done, she needs to do them.
Yeah, she should go to the.
Yeah, no, I agree. And from that day, I got the call from the police, and I was like, this is not happening. And I called up Ruby, and I'm like, you were gonna do the bank work, you're gonna run the errands. It is not Sheriff Gill's job to do. He's the one with the license. He needs to be there. So I make sure that this is taken care of. I was upset about the situation too. It's unfortunate, but
So she's the manager.
yeah, I trust her because she knows the store. She had it before, and
And what do you do?
I come in,
Wait,
and
do you have a full-time job?
I study as well, so that's why
Where do you go to school?
I'm actually med student. So
And where's that?
I went to the Caribbean, so now I'm studying and I do my rotation.
Okay, so you live in Milwaukee?
Yeah,
Okay,
I live in Franklin.
okay.
Yeah, but I do come in every day and make sure everything's going well, make sure to check up on everyone. I do come in every
Because,
day.
you know,
because
we
I'm
got
just
his-
studying for my exam now, so
We had a
for me, I
history there
have
with
time.
Ruby. When Ruby had the
Yeah.
store, it was a constant thing.
Yeah, no, I understand.
You know, and then now it so seems to be an occasional thing at least.
It's not gonna be a thing anymore. This is a one-time thing, and it's a misunderstanding. I try to be very strict about it, that I don't want this kind of trouble because I know the history.
Because the next thing is gonna
Exactly.
be a
Yeah.
closure.
No, it's fine. I understand. Yeah, I will make sure that this is not something that happens again.
And you also know, obviously, your neighbors are watching you and the police are
Yeah,
watching you, and
yeah.
if this happens, so it's gonna happen again, so you got.
No, it's not, because for me, it's my name is on risk, and I trust her, and I know she's doing a good job, but I'm gonna make sure that this is not a complaint. You will not see me here again, hopefully.
Okay, Jen, I just got a question for you.
Yes.
Now, if this was a bar, the police could shut down the bar, because they're unlicensed bartender there.
Correct.
In this case, where they sell other types of food, though, how does that work there?
Well, they can't be open. I guess it's still licensed premises for alcohol, so it should be technically shut down at that point.
Yeah. See, we can't have the person saying, "Well, I can't sell you any alcohol because you got to wait for the guy to come."
Right.
You know.
No, but the
you
store
can't
was
advertise it.
closed, but the vendor came, or like the salesperson came, so she opened the store to give him the order, and that's why the doors were open, basically. And that's when the officer came in, because he saw it open, and there's this whole situation.
But the day before.
No, I
again,
understand, yeah.
Don't have a police report on that. It was relayed to me later in that Monday, and like,
It hasn't happened since. I am sure of it. I was very upset because I'm like, I cannot have these kind of things happening, It's just, I don't want this happening. I don't want to come here and.
we don't want to have you.
No, I agree. Like, I'm sure you don't want to see me
Nobody
here
wants to be here.
complaining, and so this is.
Okay.
I will make sure that this is not happening.
Okay, do I have a
I'm
motion on
sure
this?
of it.
Move to place on file.
I'll second it.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, just watch that now.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry again.
Rachel Krutich? Rachel? Is this the first time? Hang on.
Rachel gave her home address as the Applebee's address as well. I hope she doesn't live at Applebee's.
Jeez. Allah Mohammed?
I didn't notice that.
Allah Mohammed?
I think it's Mahmood.
What?
I think it's Mahmood.
Mahmood.
Mahmood? Okay. I stand corrected. Not there either. It's another first time. First appearance. No, they had it. Oh, 24. Okay. Shane. Reagan? Reglan?
Shane Ragland.
Shane Reglan? Did you mail out the notices? Just checking. Just checking. Sandra Perez.
See?
Say some. It just means you mailed some of them out.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Okay, so you're applying for, this is a new application? Yes. And you're applying for a license at Remedy?
Yes.
Okay.
I no longer work there.
You don't work at Remedy?
No.
Okay. But you still want to apply for the license? Okay, so,
So where will you be working?
I'm still looking for, I mean, I have another job, but that's what I would like to do as a part-time job.
Okay. And what's your, you have another job? What's that?
Assemblers, it's Assemblers Inc. I assemble girls and stuff at Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's the best way to explain it.
okay.
Mr. Chair?
Otherwise,
Well, you're in here for a couple of reasons, I guess. I see it, there's an OWI in your past, it was quite a while ago. Am I looking at the right thing? 1995, Milwaukee County OWI?
I don't remember it.
No.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Oh, there it is.
yeah,
Yep.
the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you-
And that would show that at least on that occasion, you made some bad choices about your own alcohol use.
Yeah,
And if you're gonna be bartending, you're gonna be making those,
Oh,
on
definitely.
occasion, that,
right.
those decisions for your customers. And yeah, that was 20 years ago. You know, I mean, not that it's for nothing, but,
Right.
because we would expect you, do you have a background bartending right now? You said you had been working at Remedies?
Yeah, I was working at Redmond's. Matter of fact, there was one of their, what you would call regular patrons, I've cut off twice when I was working there.
Okay, and how many years have you worked there?
I didn't. I just started. I worked there just a few weeks.
Oh, okay. Do you have any other bartending experience?
Up in Port Washington, I do. That's
Okay.
in Ozaukee County.
Okay. So, I don't know what goes on in Port Washington, but we expect you to be a partner with the police here, so that if there's a problem, you call the police.
Yes.
Police come up, then you're helpful in solving the problem.
Oh, definitely. The police were actually, there was another incident at Remedy. I don't know, you guys probably don't have anything of it, but I cooperated. I was the one who actually wrote the statement for him.
Okay.
It was for the owner and the manager.
So, and then there would be an occasion that when the police send around people who aren't of legal drinking age, there's a kind of a sting operation that occurs once in a while.
Well, whether there is or isn't, I still check for ID.
Check IDs. Yep, thank you. And you heard our little conversation earlier about the problem where we have people who are, paramedics are called, the police are called, and the first thing is people are highly intoxicated. The idea is like
I'd
cutting
hope
people off.
that
Okay.
when I'm bartending, that doesn't happen, but it does happen on occasion.
And do you have a driver's license right now?
Yes.
I think it says, my copy at least says suspended driver's license.
No. Okay, in the middle of this, I did, when I went to go pick up my ID, because when I moved to West Dallas, I had to replace everything. I had a seatbelt ticket from St. Francis that I knew nothing about, but I do carry a regular driver's license. I can show you the dates where the ID was issued, and like a week later, the driver's license was issued.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do have a regular driver's license.
And then there's an incident 10 years ago in Cudahy,
In Cudahy,
obstructing an officer.
that probably had something to do with one of my kids. It had, at the time, they were teenagers, very uncontrollable kids.
Well, there's a 2000 curfew violation, and then this is 2004 that I'm looking at here.
Uncontrollable kids.
Obstructing and resisting an officer.
I'm sure it had something to do with my children. I'm positive it did.
Well,
And they're now grown and don't live with me. I live with just me and my boyfriend.
the only thing is that you didn't write that down on here.
I didn't.
You have truancy Cudahy ticket.
Okay.
And
I'm-
nothing written down.
Yeah, on the back.
Yeah, it
It's
says
for Cudahy,
tickets for
resisting-
Cudahy, resisting truancy, Ozaki. Yeah, you do have you did list
I
the
don't-
OWI.
Oh, okay.
Back of that page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Staple over. Okay, I stand corrected.
There was a ticket not a ticket, a charge in 2000 for not returning the videotapes, which,
Okay, anyone else have anything? Do you have a motion?
Move for approval, Mr. Chair.
I'll second that.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Now, this is gonna go to the council, next week?
April 7th.
April 7th. You know, and then the entire council votes on it,
Okay.
you know, so. And then, what is it, the day after?
April 8th. You can pick it up between 10:30 or 3.
Okay, so I should
After
wait till
3,
April.
we'll put it out.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Yeah, so you don't have a license now. Everything we do has to be acted on by the full council before it goes into effect.
Okay, so in order to bartend, a licensed bartender has to be on
Still is.
premises.
Still.
No matter
Until-
what, still has to be on
Yes.
premises.
Until the
You do not have your
council.
license till you have it actually in your hand.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, then we have, let's see. James 40?
That was taken, that was paid in full and taken care of.
Okay, so do I have a motion?
Move to place on file.
Second.
That's for item number 10?
Okay,
Chicken,
correct.
golden chicken.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Then we have Carolyn Wardis. Okay, this is summons and complaint. Okay, you received a summons, and did you read it over? And do you argue, or do you differ with anything that's written there?
Yes.
Okay, do we have to go through each one, or?
I'll go through it, sure.
Okay,
Okay, Miss Wardis, is it Wardis or Wardius?
Or yes.
Wardius, we'll skip 1 and 2 because those are pretty much it. You have no dispute that Ms. Nuslock is the health commissioner and that these came from her records, right?
Right.
Okay. And you hold an animal-related permit as listed in number 3?
Yes.
And your business is New Life Cat Rescue is listed in number 4?
Yes.
Okay, and number 5, that you, as a condition of your permit, you are limited to 40 cats being present on the premises?
Yes.
And that on November 14th, 2012, Mr. Kowalewski did an inspection at your location, correct?
Right.
Okay, and number 7, that he observed 58 cats on the premises and noted an extremely strong odor. Do you admit or deny that?
That was in 2012, yes.
So you admit that?
Yes.
Okay. And number 8, that he,
Could we just back up, the definition of cats? We understand that according to the municipal code that a cat under the age of 5 months is not considered to be a cat for counting purposes.
I'm sorry, you were her counsel or?
No.
Who are you?
I'm a volunteer at the shelter.
And what's your name?
Melody Carlson.
Melody Carlson. And are you okay with the committee being here seated at the table as well?
I don't have a problem, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. What is, so I guess you're denying that there's 58 cats on the premises?
Cats would be, according to the definition, more than 5 months old. And generally at that time of the year, since it's the end of the kitten season, we have a large number of cats who have been born, say, in October or November, or even earlier, that are not 5 months old.
How many cats were on the premises then at that time?
At that time, there were 58, including the kittens. At that time, this was 2012.
Okay, including the kittens?
Yes.
Okay. And number 8, do you admit or deny that he ordered you to install an adequate ventilation and to clean all the cages, litter boxes, bedding, floors, walls, and carpets?
Correct.
You admit that? Okay. And then number 9, do you admit that he inspected the premises on that date, November 13th?
Right.
Okay. And number 10, do you admit or deny that there was about 55 to 60 cats on the premises and a strong odor of cat urine and litter boxes?
I believe he told me there were 53. I don't know where the 55 to 60 came in. And then he did tell me that he could smell the urine.
Okay. Do you remember how many cats were on the premises that day? Do you agree that there was 53?
Yes.
Okay.
And at that
Including
time, I
kittens.
told him we had 25 kittens.
So you're saying that 25 of them were kittens and 22 were cats?
Right.
Okay. Okay, then at number 11, that he notified you by letter. You got that letter?
Right.
Okay. And on number 12, do you admit or deny that that Mr. Korleski was there and that there's 48 cats at the premises and a heavy cat odor?
Right. And I told him at that time, I called him the next day because I didn't realize when he was there that we had had 6 fixed that week and they were going to the store, the Vetco store, on the weekend.
Okay, so you admit that there's 48 cats there. Is there any dispute whether they were cats or kittens?
Well, there
Oh,
were kittens
yes.
then too. Yes.
Oh, how many cats and how many were kittens?
25 kittens.
So the same number of kittens were there as in November?
Oh, no, not in January. No, because we've had, every kitten is gone now. Every kitten. This is the first year that they have all been adopted.
Okay, but do you remember how many kittens were there?
On that date, no.
Okay. But you would agree that there were 48 feline animals on the premises at that
Right.
point? Okay. Okay. I don't think, I'd have to look at where we exactly define cats, but I know the permit application, you agree that there's 40 cats maximum for the number of type of animals. Agreed?
Right.
Okay.
We looked up these section codes that were listed here.
Okay. And I don't know if you want Mr. Korleski to shed some light on that. He's here.
Sure. Come on up then. Have a seat. Okay. Now, well, you were all this time,
Yeah,
you saw in
I'm the
it.
inspector for that establishment, and the basis of the, I guess, of the whole summons and complaint for some historical background. Initially, when Carolyn opened the place, there was complaints about the odor from a tenant upstairs. That was in the end of 2012 when I went in there. And, you know, that was when I counted the, whatever it was, 58 cats, and then she put the vent fan in, that kind of thing. That was when I came up with the restriction of 40 animals for the premises. Because for the size of the establishment, based on some of the guidelines, we don't have specific guidelines in our ordinance. I did some research online through the National Humane Society. I came up with 40 as what I would think would be a workable number, and I had gone through this same thing with a different cat rescue in West Dallas, which at one point she had over 100 cats, and I put the same limit of 40 on that establishment. And then, you know, Carolyn was under the understanding that she's limited to 40. And then when I went back in at the end of 2014, again on a complaint from a fire inspector, again I counted whatever, 55 to 58 cats. You try and count them when they're all running loose. Good luck.
But now, when you put the limit of 40 on, did you say kittens, cats, or you just said animals? Because when you said it to us,
I
you
said cats.
Cats. You said cats when you did it writing.
Right. I believe I wrote down cats. But to me, it's not a dog. It's a cat. I mean,
What's the square footage we got here?
I don't even know.
How much square foot you got there?
I don't know exactly either.
It's small?
I believe 800 to 900
That's
square
probably
feet.
about right. But no, I did not differentiate and say kittens or cats. And you know, I was, you know, listening obviously, and they said 25 kittens. I don't believe I counted that many kittens in there at that time. There was maybe 7 or 8 up in the front window, and the rest are cats. I mean, I don't know the ages of them. There's
Where did you find your definition of where this is cat and kitten?
It's in section 7.123.
So regards to cat licensing?
I believe that's for licensing.
That's a fancier's permit.
It's-
That's what was referenced
Yeah.
in our,
You know, the letter itself referenced
Which letter are you referring to?
The
The
subpoena. Summons.
The
Right, but
summons.
B or C.
Referenced,
3C is what we have, 7.123C.
Right.
yes, B, C, and 7.124B. And those two sections, so we copied these two sections, studied them, and it's in this section that it identifies the difference between a cat and a cat under 5 months of age.
That is for the animal fanciers permit. It doesn't really mention that in the pet shops, kennels, and grooming establishments section. So it's, I guess are we defining it as probably a kennel? Is that what we're looking for? Not a pet shop?
Pet shop.
Pet shop, okay.
Right.
And it doesn't go into what a kitten is and what's the difference between a kitten and a cat. So,
Then I guess it would be confusing that you would hold us to this section of the code as far as 7.123B and C, but you would not hold us to the section of the code for the definition between a cat and a kitten.
well, it only says compliance with the provisions of section 7.123 sub 3. It doesn't mention anything else but 7.123 sub 2 or sub 1. They're just doing the same sort of, making sure that the conditions are the same. And I think Mr. Korleski did note on here that how many cats / kittens he observed in his letters. I believe, and if there was any clarification about that, I guess it should have been asked to Mr. Korleski. So I guess it seems to be more of a legal issue with, I guess, up in that sense. Do you have any, I mean, is there any objection or any denial that there was odors and the premises weren't clean at that time?
Right, the one time, well, this was back in 2012 when he came in. And also when the fire inspector came in, my cleaning person was just there at the time when he came in, and she offered to bring him, because he doesn't like cats and he's mentioned that. She offered to bring him the fire extinguisher to the door, and he said, no, I have to see it where it is, so he walked through. So like I said, she was cleaning at the time. So the boxes hadn't been done or anything, she was just starting to clean when he came in.
How often do you have a cleaning lady come?
Well, this particular one comes on Friday mornings
So once a week?
for her. We have other volunteers that come in.
We're cleaning all day long.
Yeah.
The cleaning is
Well,
just
I'm there every
once a
day from noon until 8 o'clock at night, sometimes till 9, 10 o'clock at night. I am there personally every day, Monday through Friday. I mean, Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends, we come in and we clean in the morning, and then we go show cats at the Petco stores, and then we come back and we are there again until 8, 9 o'clock at night, cleaning. It is cleaned every day. Twice a day, the boxes are done at least. The floor is mopped, the carpets are vacuumed. Yes, we bleach everything down.
Well, since, I'm sorry.
I just got, when you were there, did you notice an odor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we did agree to pull out the carpeting. We talked to him about that, and we all agreed that that's probably holding the smell. We agreed to pull it up and put in a new floor. I went ahead and called the owner of the building, and he said we could do it at our own expense. So when he came in the second time to inspect, he said, well, I thought you were pulling up the carpeting. And I said, well, we are, but not unless we know for sure we're going to stay. I'm not just going to spit out this money to do this if we don't know if we're going to be allowed to stay or not.
Okay, well, since there seems to be a little bit of a dispute as to what exactly happened, I would recommend that we set this for a hearing in front of the committee so we can determine exactly, we can make fact finding, determine exactly what went on, and then you can make a decision as to whether the license should be suspended, renewed, or non-renewed, or revoked, or if this complaint should be dismissed.
One of my, just want to make a comment, one of my issues was, I mean, back at the end of 2012, when, you know, she had the, 58 cats, I gave Carolyn a time period to get down to 40. I mean, you know, I'm an animal lover, I don't want to see these animals euthanized, but, so I gave her a period of time to comply, which she did. The reason that we're here tonight is because basically she ignored the limit of 40 and then went right back when I was back there at the end of last year to having 50-some cats again.
Because of the kittens.
Mr. Chair?
Hold on, wait.
when you came up with this 40 number, you didn't differentiate age of cats.
I did not.
And when you discussed it with her at that time, and it was put in writing, was it ever discussed cat versus kitten?
It was not. It was just
So,
said
so
maximum.
it's really
cats.
only since this process began and you investigated and saw that in some of our ordinances, we don't count kittens as cats. But the reality is, you agreed to 40 at one time, regardless of their age. Is that correct? So you did agree to keep it to 40, regardless of how old they were. So even if there were a bunch of kittens there, which maybe under the ordinance don't count as cats, as far as your agreement with our staff was, those kittens were cats also. Is that correct? I'm just trying to understand what was in people's minds here, what you agreed to in your mind. At that time, you thought a kitten was a cat.
Kittens don't stay long.
That's not my question.
Okay.
My question was, when you understood Mr. Korleski telling you that you could only have 40 cats, did you understand, did you believe that meant cats of any age? Or did you think, they're just kittens, they don't count?
I've always known of the fancier permit having the underage of 5 months.
So you thought when Dan told you that 40 cats meant 40 cats, you thought, but you could have maybe 65 if 25 more kittens?
No.
You thought that all along?
No, it just, no.
Okay, I'm just trying to know, because I stopped in the store, I understand the quandary they're in. They got a bunch of carpeting in there that makes no sense to me in a place with cats running loose,
Right.
quite honestly.
And that's
I
why we
understand you
wanna
don't want to
pull it.
spend the money, and the landlord doesn't want to spend the money.
I'm willing to spend the money though.
Okay, but not if you're not going to stay, though.
Right.
Right. So it's a little bit of a chicken and the egg thing here. So,
Yeah.
And the carpeting is right at the front door.
yeah, the front half,
So it's what
the
you
front third of the
notice
floor
first.
space is carpeting.
And the windows. And I agreed to pull that out at my own expense.
And when
put in a
did you
floor.
first make that agreement? Was that in 12?
No, in this letter.
Okay. I'm just wondering when you agreed to it.
We sent them a letter when we first did the appeal.
Right. And she mentioned that to me, I think,
Okay.
in December when we talked.
I'm just trying to get my head around about who knew what, when, and what people's thoughts were.
Mr. Chair. Yeah, I'd like some understanding of your organization. Are you a rescue? Are you breeding cats for
No.
sale at
No,
stores?
no.
If you're not breeding cats, how come you have kittens?
They all come in to us.
We can explain it to you after.
Right,
We're on the air right now, we're trying to keep this G rated.
don't you spay and neuter?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And I've got
so-
all of my paperwork with me, all my vet bills,
Yeah,
everything.
Tell me about your operation.
Okay. If people surrender a cat to us if we have room for them. If they're already spayed and neutered, we can take them out to the Petco stores. That's where we do our showings on the weekends. We have space there to leave animals there. We have the one in Brookfield and we have the one in Sturtevant where we can leave. Well, there's 3 cages in Brookfield and there's 2 in Sturtevant. We can leave cats there,
And 1 cat per cage?
depending on the age.
So sometimes 2 cats per cage.
Yeah, because they're double units.
Okay.
And that's why we had 6 of them done. When he was complaining that there were 48, I said, but we had 6 done. They're going to the store this weekend, but there's going to be always a difference of, when you get them fixed, you can't take them right out to the store. And the reason we get the kittens is because if we don't take in the surrenders of the adults, we get kittens that people call us and say, well, I've got this litter of kittens in my yard. I don't know what to do with them.
There's no
Don't bring them in.
mother.
We take them in, we take care of their medical issues. We had a lot this year that had cudoribras in them. We're
They
teaching
had what in them?
cudoribras.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I'm,
none
not
of us
I'm a dog guy. not a
Okay,
cat.
it's a bot fly that lays eggs on kittens and their skin is so fine that they put the eggs through the skin and
It's a parasite.
it grows inside of them and it starts to come out by eating through the skin. So we've taken care of all of those medically. I have all the bills. We have a vet that we go to, a regular vet. We have a vet that comes into the shelter. We have had kittens that lose their eyes that we've taken care of. Came in with a ruptured eye. We've had that taken care of. You know,
Is
when
there
you have all these
kittens that
kittens,
have been abandoned?
we have a kitten right now that somebody brought in last week that was thrown out of a window.
Of
A car window. And he took it in for the night, and then he called me and asked me if we would take it. It has now cost me $178, and it's going to be fixed on Friday. It's going to be spayed. That's going to be my cost, and then we adopt them out for a $75 donation.
But when we're talking about the flow of kittens, like when we have a kitten that has a medical issue, we have to make sure that the kitten is completely well before we'll adopt it up. And also when someone brings little kittens that they found under the tree and there's no mother in sight, you know, we need to make sure those kittens are old enough to be adopted. You don't adopt out a kitten that's 3 weeks old. So there's a timing thing here that's not always completely under our control as much as we'd like our
But at
intentions to
the
fit
same
the-
time, I mean, you don't have to, when you know how many cats you have on the premises, and then you continue to accept cats from people that bring them in, that's when you end up with
Mr. Chair?
some of the numbers that you get.
What if you kept your number of adult cats at around 25 constantly, and then when you have this influx of kittens, you'd still be under the 40?
Well, like I said, this year we had 25 kittens.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's,
I can understand it's hard to say, you know, let's see, all of a sudden you have 42 cats, and you know that you're over, and now somebody walks in with this beat-up cat or kitten. How do you say, no, we can't take that? I understand.
Thank you.
know,
how do we say
hard
take
that
it to
might be.
Manic and let them put it down?
And so,
We
but-
rescue animals. We
But
can't-
the problem here, though, is both times that the health department came in, there was because of complaints. You know, that obviously somebody living upstairs, you know, and of the odors and stuff. And that's the thing. You could probably get away with for a couple of days if the odors weren't there that was bothering the people. You know, and that's seems to be the problem. Don't ask me how you do all that, but it's just,
The carpeting issue
you know.
would be,
Right, we know it's a
huge.
carpeting issue. We're cleaning all the time.
you can't bleach the carpeting, you know, we bleach the rest of the floor.
And I mean,
And
I have
boxes.
had other complaints that were not included on the summons and complaints, so I don't know if I'm allowed to mention those,
I
but.
don't think you can. Can you mention?
Well,
it?
we'd have to set it up for like a hearing, I think,
Okay,
based on
all right.
what's.
Okay. So, how would the committee like to
Schedule a hearing.
schedule a hearing? Okay. Geez, what would you like to do? So we already got one coming up. Let's see, I think we got one at our next regularly scheduled meeting.
We do. I'm thinking this one probably won't take as long, though. I'm assuming. Are you going to call out witnesses? I mean, that might be a little early to tell right now, but do you know how many witnesses you may call at a hearing?
For us,
Yeah.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I mean, our witnesses are our volunteers.
Well,
our volunteers and our adoptees.
yeah.
Are we gonna call them all in? No, not all of them.
Well, Mr. Chair, if I could,
Hold on,
the witnesses would have to go to the facts in the summons and complaint, okay? I think, right?
So they
So,
could testify about the number of cats on the premises and the odors, I guess, at the business. And
Right. And we ask people, we're to the point now where we ask people when they come in, does it smell in here? Because I understand that I'm in there 8 to 10 hours a day and I get used to it. And some people will say, well, you have animals, what do you expect? It's gonna smell like animals.
well, if they're living upstairs, you know.
Yeah.
That was one complaint,
Yeah.
and that was in 2012.
do we want to do the May meeting then, or?
Okay. In May? Okay. Is that okay with everyone?
yep.
Which
Okay.
one's
It'll be the
May?
day after Memorial Day.
27?
The day after Memorial
Or,
Day?
yeah.
Yeah.
26.
Is that going to work for people?
Okay, that'd be fine.
Is everyone going to be here?
Okay. So what we do now, we set up the hearing. It's like a court where we'll have our witnesses, you bring in your witnesses, and we try to determine, what goes on. If you want an attorney, you can get an attorney, or, I don't know, if it's necessary or all. So, and then we gotta come up with a determination will be the jury, the committee is.
We assume a quasi judicial role, so it is a little bit like court in that sense.
He's an attorney.
Right.
He's not so, try to excuse us for that.
Excuse me for that.
Okay, so do you understand now? What we got a hearing where you can bring in witnesses, you know, and witnesses would be, you know, people that saw the cat there, or, you know, that they can contribute to what's right on the complaint. Okay?
So you're-
I'm not sure who
Do you understand what's going on?
witnesses would
Yeah.
be
Just keep on holding it.
Okay.
for us.
She can still operate during that.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Well, when he came in, you know, was there so many cats? There was so many.
That's up to
Whoever-
you to decide.
yes,
It might
yes.
just be the same people that you have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be just the two of you. But you'll be sworn under oath. It'll be like a court kind of thing. There'll be a court reporter taking down notes. We have to hire a court reporter to take down notes.
We can just record it.
Oh, yeah, we're just doing audio recording.
Just record it?
I'm getting old.
And specifically, I think what we'd want to know is what are you doing to comply
Yeah,
now with the order of 40 cats? And what are you doing to comply with these problems of odors that you've had complaints of? What are you doing to alleviate those odors? Can you show to us that you're running a good operation now, despite
We've
your
invited you.
On that date in May, if, let's say, the carpeting was gone,
What's underneath the carpeting?
I think just what normally is in
Wood?
a house, yeah,
Probably would.
just
That's no good.
plyboard or
It's
whatever
no good
they
either. So,
Right.
Okay. So,
And we did put in a ventilation system.
You did
last
mention-
year.
you did
Okay.
mention
Okay.
And we've, upped our cleaning substantially,
where you
more
say you clean
often,
every day,
More of
right?
our,
Every day.
Every day you're cleaning.
Yes.
So that when you say that on the day he came in, or the day a fire inspector came in, the cleaning person had just gotten there, but you're cleaning every day.
We are cleaning every day. It just
Right, this
might
is-
not be at 9 o'clock when somebody shows up, but,
And the other part of that, though, is there you could be at a point where you can clean and clean and clean, but you can't get the place clean because you have too many cats, and that's the reason that it becomes a health and safety issue.
we've invited all of you to come and look at the place. You will find the cats are never in any feces or urine, nothing. Like you've heard in the past from other places, let's say orphan canines, okay, where the dogs are all standing in this. You will never find that in my shelter. You will never find the cats without food or water. I took pictures
we have
today to show you the
clean
cages.
blankets.
Because I don't know what, there was something stated about cages.
And just for the record, the committee can't do any independent investigation. They're limited only in making the decision based on what's presented at the hearing.
Yeah, we can't go to your store now.
Oh.
Now that
Because-
now that we're in this process.
okay, as far as,
And I appreciate what you're saying there
Yeah.
before about. Realize I'm sure you care for these cats. And I appreciate that.
Well, that's why we do this.
Yep.
so, Dan, from now on, you have to determine, cats or kittens,
And
a
can you
limit.
eyeball the difference between a 5-month-old and a 6-month-old
Well,
cat?
I don't think it
matters.
I don't think you have to. I think
It
when
doesn't matter.
when you give a number and everything, so you're gonna have
40
to,
felines.
clarify that. And
I would
so,
say 40 animals.
40,
Animals.
and, and so, okay, but, so, okay, that's, what was that date again?
May 26th.
May 26th? All the way.
This is an annual license? It expires when?
Actually,
The 31st of this month.
yeah.
So they'll be able to operate, I'm assuming it's the same as liquor
Yeah.
licenses?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though your license expires now, because we're in this process, you'll be able to operate on the old license up through the date of the hearing at least. Okay. Is that correct?
Well, till findings of fact.
Till the
or-
findings
or
of
so-
fact.
Or a stipulation is reached or
Okay,
something.
okay.
Some sort of resolution is reached.
They should probably apply for the new one though, correct?
I believe they have
They have applied
I
already?
know.
No, I was holding the renewal until after
Yeah, so they're
tonight,
holding,
right.
Deacon's holding it, they've made the, I guess, application
The
for
paper,
renewal, but,
the
right.
application's in.
But they, yeah,
No, I have not, I can.
It wasn't mailed out.
Right, I did not mail it out, I
Okay.
was waiting until after tonight and
Oh.
see. I wasn't gonna make her pay the $25 until
Yeah,
we knew what was going on.
and we still don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so you just hang on to the,
Yeah, then.
but like you say, you can continue to operate on the old
Yeah, you can
license
continue to operate even though
until,
the license
until some
expires.
determination is made.
Yeah.
Okay? So any other questions, comments? Okay, so you'll be receiving a letter, right, Ann, to receive a letter about a hearing and
Right,
everything?
the letter, the hearing guide, the agenda.
Okay. Okay.
Now, can I ask one question? If we were to move, let's say we could stay in West Dallas and we move to a bigger building, that would change the limitations?
What I would do is I would conduct more research and come up with a firm number again.
Because we were thinking about a 1,000-foot area.
Right, where is it? You
Yeah.
looking at it?
There,
Well,
now there's Bob's Coins, where Bob's Coins was,
Beecher.
right up the block
Okay.
from us.
And I think that has a marble floor in there,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Terrazzo, maybe?
I think so, I mean, no, seriously, I think it
remember
has.
Terrazzo, I think it's
we get it.
Terrazzo.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's not carpeted.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean.
Because he came in
Sally-
and talked to us about that.
Sally, yes?
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Yes.
Sure, Sally, go ahead.
part of the allocation for number of animals was more than just space. It also, you have to look at number of litter boxes, you have to look at the capacity of somebody to care for these
Yeah,
animals.
capacity cares.
Looking at some of the recommendations through veterinary medicine and some of the humane societies, they recommend at least 15 minutes per cat, and 40 cats comes up to about 10 hours a day of care. That's feeding, cleaning, socializing, everything. So if you're strictly on a volunteer basis, you have to think of yourself as the only person there. So, and you have 10 hours then to care for all these cats. As you start adding on, you add on hours of time that you have to care for these cats, and you need to make sure that you're giving an adequate level of care. So that's one of the factors that went into the recommendation for only 40 cats.
As if there were only one person there.
But you have to assume an all volunteer staffing that somebody's not gonna come in and you may be the only person that goes in. So if you have one person and 60 cats, you won't be able to care for them adequately.
Does the Humane Society hold to the same standard?
They have paid staff
Yeah.
and more than just a volunteer organization.
If you have any more questions on, you can call, Dan or Sally at the health department, and that, so. Or you can call the city attorney's office if you have any questions. Obviously, we can't call, we can't look at this point, so.
But
Any further-
you are contemplating moving, or just kicking it around?
We're kicking it around,
Okay.
yeah.
Trying to see if you can afford it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the biggest part.
That's the real thing, so, yeah. I
We are
understand.
nonprofit, we don't make any money off of this.
Are you on a month-to-month lease where you are currently?
We are now.
Okay.
It was the first year we were on a lease.
Okay,
I do have a question. At this
Sure.
point, are we expected to tear out the carpeting and replace it with linoleum before this hearing?
we can't really give you advice
Not
on that.
knowing.
That's something you'd have to determine on your own.
Well, that's what we were waiting to hear when Dan came in, then he said, I thought you were going to replace the carpeting. I'm like, oh yeah, but if we're not gonna stay, I mean, I'm not gonna put $600 to $1,000 into the floor and then say, okay, bye-bye.
And we, in our letter, we wanted to make it clear that as much as we have been able to, short of taking out the carpeting, that we have improved the odor situation, and which is why we invited you to come in and see the improvements, see how it is now compared to how it was, and to show our sincerity in making the improvements.
That's something
We
you can
can't count.
testify about at the hearing. They can't
Yeah.
make an independent
We can't count
investigation,
on that.
so.
So,
If you have any further questions, I mean, feel free to contact us.
Thank you.
okay. So, like you said, we will receive a letter.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mary Jo Burback. Okay. Okay, we're for the summons and complaint. 12. Now, have you gone over your summons and complaint?
I have.
And do you have any disputes?
I have decided to contest all the allegations at this point.
All the allegations?
Not, after listening to that, I really was, and I had already decided this. I talked to council today, and I decided to contest it.
Okay, so we gotta set up another hearing?
We do.
Okay,
My apologies for that as well.
sorry.
Want to do it after the M&M hearing on April 28th, or?
Is there a lot of things for April?
Not
Besides the
yet.
hearing?
Not yet.
Okay, why don't we set it up for April then, again? And then maybe you could,
24th?
Or, I'm sorry, I don't know if the 28th is the right date, I'm just guessing on that.
Oh, wait, it might be the 28th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 4th.
It is
It is the
28th.
28th, yes.
April 28th.
Okay.
Then we just, remember, we're gonna have 2 hearings, so maybe limit, some, we can put them at a recess
Okay.
meeting, or if we have to have a meeting before,
Okay.
so get them out of the way, because we can't, if we push these things off, we're gonna go right into license, big license time, so.
Is there anything, are you contesting the waste contract?
I just prefer not to go over anything right now. As a council, he'd prefer to go through it with me and you.
Who's your counsel?
Ron Bornstein.
Okay, he's gonna have to contact me.
Okay. I will have him call you this week.
Okay, so we're holding all these. We didn't, okay, so you, once again, you received something in the
And
mail,
I should probably write that down. April 28th, but you'll send me a letter, I'm assuming?
April 28th. yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Pulling those, I take it none of these other people came in?
Well, look at that.
All right, so do you wanna go through who did not pay?
Oh, okay.
Hey, you guys want a liquor license?
Okay, we're gonna go through the list.
Well, not just that, it's like
Pass.
Walgreens is on the list, Burger King's on the list.
Okay, well, obviously,
10? I'll go to 1022, nothing.
so what do you wanna do with these? We call all these people in too, right?
And if you wanna do a second attempt, or if you wanna go straight, I mean, do like a certified letter, I don't know. Or you could go to someone's complaint, but it might,
Well, that's a lot of someone coming.
It's a lot of- I
It's a
know,
lot of
it's
writing.
like, that's a lot of
Let's do a
It'll be a long
second,
meeting.
everybody.
Certified letter for them, just to make sure they got it?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
all right, so 1022 is on Alibi, did not come in. Antigua Latin did not come in. Arian's Martin Liquor, did not come in.
Well, that's a new licensee
And we just
there.
approved them.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, didn't we just,
We just approved a new licensee for
Last
that.
week.
So do you
just
guys see
last
that one?
meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hold off
Yeah,
on
so how does
that.
that work? Do they have to pay the personal property taxes?
The previous
Yeah,
guy?
previous? No.
Previous,
Previous.
unless it's the same corporation, but I don't believe it is.
No.
Sure, it's not. Yeah.
It's not? Okay,
Yeah.
then forget that, never mind on that one. Beecher's paid in full, Beecher's Quick Stop paid
Okay.
in full, Benno's paid in
we got
full.
Big Eves?
They are paying, they've called, so
Okay.
we don't need to order them in. Burger King is paid in full. Chowdhury, we'd have to, I believe, call in.
That also has a new licensee at this time.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah,
All right, so maybe I'll
So-
investigate that one as well.
okay.
So we just forget that money then, if there's a new license?
Well, we have to go against the old owner. I mean, we can sue them, but we just can't hold the new person's license because of it.
Okay, even if it's, somebody buys the corporation?
If somebody buys a corporation, then yes, they would be responsible.
Okay,
Burnham Bull is paid in full. Club K9 did contact me today, so they're gonna be okay. Court Family paid. Czars needs a letter.
They're out of business.
they're out of business, they don't even have a
Business?
license
They don't
anymore.
even liquor
Yeah.
license.
Oh, well then, they don't need a letter then. Okay.
And I think the bank's gonna get the place.
Okay, DDT called and paid. Dylan is paid in full.
Well, make this quicker, can we just go through all the ones that haven't paid?
Sure.
Yeah, that Gourmet Cheesecake Shop, they're out of business.
Are they? Okay.
That's where Big Eve's is going into.
All right, well then we don't need to move that. So no. I'm sorry, Double B's needs to be ordered in.
Okay,
Drunken Duck I know is in the process, so
yeah.
I don't think we need to send them a letter.
No, our letter says they paid.
He did pay.
Oh, he did pay?
Yeah.
Oh, he did, okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Fratelli.
Okay, you don't, do you have our?
Here, Jenna.
Oh, sorry.
We have notes, we have updated notes.
Oh, you have updated notes, okay.
Yes.
Maybe Chris would have given it to you.
She gave me some notes, but it's different than your
Sorry.
notes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so we'll just go through the ones that don't have a line through it.
Fratelli, we don't have.
Right, okay, call them in.
It's all about me.
And that's next door to this. Oh, that's the other cat rescue place on National Avenue.
No, this is a grooming place.
That's a grooming place, yeah.
This isn't the cat rescue.
But there's a cat place
Rescue
there on
right.
National
Yeah, I know.
Avenue.
All right,
Don't need
Coco
stuff.
Pelli's and Crapshoot need to be, I guess, ordered in. M&M.
Add it to the list.
Okay, Magoo's is a new licensee of 212. That one I might have to look at, see who the new licensee is on that one.
The orange leaf, they're gone.
Orange Leaf is closed also on National Avenue.
Okay, then here's that one. Mamma Mia's. Should be ordered in.
Memories?
Ray
Look at
Jewelry I
they-
talked to.
Oh, you did?
They're out of business anyway.
Yeah, they're out of business, yeah.
Rupina's signed an agreement.
Okay.
Sacred Skin I've not heard from.
Okay, call them in.
Sports Medicine.
They said he signed
No,
Signed
that's
payment agreement.
different.
No, I'm sorry.
That's the people
no
who own
letters
the
signed.
property, I think.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
really
only
sure.
like a $32 fee, or
Okay. Okay.
put it on there or not. But yeah, I'm not sure who should get called into
Do they have
that.
another bar too, though?
Yeah, they own a
It's an
bunch.
LLC.
They own a couple.
They own like, they, at the time owned like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did they? Okay, maybe
They
we'll
own
see.
properties.
Who are we
and
talking about
they-
now?
I mean, I
Sports
could go for Mark Holbert, because
Yeah.
he's the agent listed on the
Sports
LLC.
Medicine.
I'll have to pull the return on that
Thank
one.
you.
Let me know then,
Okay,
okay?
Sports Medicine.
Okay.
Stales Palace, Steakhouse
Coleman.
100, they both have to be ordered in. I don't know what Universal and Food is, but I'm assuming they have to.
That's that cell phone store on 60th and
What is
Bourbon.
it, Jenna?
Universal and Food?
Universal.
They're out of business. It's different.
Oh, yeah, it's like a,
It's a new,
I mean,
Similar.
similar, but it's called In and Out.
Similar but different.
In and Out.
and we have the Walker and the Whammy.
Walker Inn and Whammy Bar have to be ordered in.
Walker Inn has a, oh wait, no, Crapshoot's the one. They have a new licensee in the Crapshoot.
Okay.
But I mean, she owned Crapshoot and Walker Inn.
yeah.
So,
Call it.
okay,
Yeah, she'll
Another
pay over both
Tavern
then, yes.
Empire.
okay.
Okay, so now, we got all those taken care of. Now we're gonna go back to
It
number
says
two.
one tavern owner, who knows?
Number two on our agenda, discussion relative to Assistant City Attorney's list of licensed permitted.
That was the
Businesses.
discussion.
Yeah, that's right. Did I just say discussion?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Licensed permitted business with. Okay, what is,
Those are all copies of the letters that I had sent out to the people.
okay. Oh, I see what you're saying, because it's redundant. You just broke them down, so. What other discussion? Would there be any other discussion than what we already had on these people?
I don't think so.
And so we're sending out a certified letter? Was that our agreement to the ones that are remaining? And then wait for a response, and then if no response, then we'll figure out what to do from there. All right.
Do we place on file a discussion item?
You can just put discussed. Do you want to close it out, or do we want to wait until we
Yeah, why don't we
finish
just
these
wait?
couple, we'll kind of hold it?
Since we have that, might as well just hold it. Bigger stack. Okay, let's see, anything else? Do you have any further discussion on anything?
Move for adjournment, Mr. Chair?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel?
We have a closed session posted. Do we want to go into closed session and look at options on these summons complaints that we have coming up in case there's some sort of negotiation that can be had and see where we're drawing the line on these? I think we could maybe save some time and energy by doing that right now.
I don't have a problem with that.
Alright, then I will go with, I will still be the prosecutor, so I shouldn't know what you guys discussed about.
And we should tell that camera
If-
guy.
But if they're going to negotiate, so
Yeah,
we don't go to
usually
summons a
negotiate with you.
complaint,
They usually negotiate with
do they negotiate with you?
They do, but you probably should convey it to Scott, then who would convey it to me, just so it doesn't look like
Okay,
unfairness.
lawyer thing,
taking
yeah,
off right away,
I
John?
know. I get it.
Do you want me to wait?
Yeah, because I have a couple quick questions.
Sure.
I'll read the notice.
You wanna read it now? Go ahead.
Please take notice that the License and Health Committee of the City of West Dallas will meet in open session Tuesday, March 24th, 2015, at approximately 6 p.m. or soon thereafter. Time permits, room 128, City Hall, West Dallas. And Wisconsin, to consider a motion to convene in closed session at said time and place to deliberate and confer with the city attorney on the summons and complaints regarding the following matters. 1. Carolyn Ordius, the premises located at 7911 West Beecher Street. 2. Morgan Murphy Enterprises LLC at 5732 West Mitchell Street. A closed session for the above purpose is authorized pursuant to the provisions of Wisconsin Statute Section 1985 1AG and authorizes a governmental body upon motion duly made and carried to meet in closed session and deliberate concerning